And we move on to those and other stories in detail. And in your top local story tonight, Indian Minister of Foreign Affairs Dr. S. Jaishankar commenced his official visit to Sri Lanka with a meeting with President Ranil Wickremesinghe today.
Now, the meeting was held at the President's house in Colombo this morning. This visit marks the first diplomatic exchange between India and Sri Lanka following the inauguration of the new government. Upon arrival, Minister Jaishankar was warmly received by Senior Advisor to President on National Security and Chief of Staff Sagala Ratnayaka. Subsequently, President Wickremesinghe held bilateral discussions with Minister Jaishankar to review the progress of ongoing development projects between the two nations. During the meeting, President Wickremesinghe and Minister Jaishankar jointly unveiled a digital plaque commemorating the inauguration of 106 houses constructed under the Indian Housing Project in Kandy, Nuwara and Matale districts. Additionally, they handed over 24 houses from model villages in Colombo and Trincomalee to their respective beneficiaries. The highlight of the event was the formal commissioning of the Maritime Rescue Coordination Centre, comprising of a main centre at the Colombo Naval Headquarters, a sub-centre in Hambantota and an unmanned installation in strategic locations across Sri Lanka's coastline. This initiative underscores the deepening maritime security cooperation between India and Sri Lanka. The meeting was attended by a delegation including the Minister of Foreign Affairs Ali Sabri, President's Secretary Sama Nekanayaka and Indian High Commissioner to Sri Lanka Mr. Santosh Jha. Indian Minister of External Affairs Dr. Subramaniam Jaishankar called on Prime Minister Dinesh Gunawardena at the Temple Trees today. When Minister Dr. Subramaniam Jaishankar called on the Prime Minister Dinesh Gunawardena at the Temple Trees, Dr. Jaishankar said the Indian government reaffirms the neighbourhood first policy and the main purpose of his visit is to underline India's continued commitment to Sri Lanka as its closest maritime neighbour and time-tested friend. The Prime Minister congratulated Dr. Jaishankar on the election victory and reassured Sri Lanka's commitment to working together to further strengthen close bilateral relations. The Prime Minister and the Indian Minister discussed Indian investments, development projects, connectivity projects and other mutually beneficial cooperation in different spheres. Minister Douglas Devananda was also present at this meeting. Meanwhile, Indian Minister of External Affairs Dr. Jaishankar also met opposition leader Sajith Premadasa today. The opposition leader extended his gratitude for the support extended from India to Sri Lanka as the closest neighbour.
External Affairs Minister of India Dr. Subramaniam Jaishankar, who was on a one-day official visit to Sri Lanka, met with his Sri Lanka counterpart Foreign Minister Ali Sabri for bilateral talks at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs this afternoon. This morning, the visiting External Affairs Minister of India was received on arrival at the Bandaranaike International Airport by the State Minister of Foreign Affairs, Tharaka Balasurya. Minister Jaishankar was accompanied by a delegation of senior officials from the Ministry of External Affairs of India and the High Commission of India in Colombo. The bilateral discussions at the Foreign Ministry centred on a range of issues of mutual interest, including the areas of economic and development cooperation, cooperation in regional and multilateral fora, as well as cooperation between the foreign ministries of the two countries, among others. Following bilateral talks, the visiting Indian External Affairs Minister signed the guest book at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Foreign Secretary Aruna Vijayawardena and senior officials of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs were associated with the Foreign Minister for the bilateral talks. Now, various religious programs have been organized in many parts of the country to mark the Poson Full Moon Poya Day.
The police have said that special security measures are in place for the security of the devotees. Various religious programs have been organized at close to 11,100 temples across the country. Meanwhile, 322 Poson zones and 296 pandals have also been organized in the country. In addition, the police headquarters have said that 4,600 dansals and 6,000 Poson festivals have also been organized. Meanwhile, 20,000 police officers have been deployed for the security of the devotees. In addition, officers of the Sri Lanka Army and Special Task Force have also been assigned for security purposes. Vehicle parks have been set up in areas in Anuradhapura town, Atamastane, including the Mihintale sacred site, Tantirimale Rajamahavihara and Aukana Vijitapura. The hotline 025 222 2191 has been set up to inform regarding vehicular traffic or disaster situations. Police assistance can be obtained by calling 025 2222 124 over missing persons during the festive period at the sacred site. Sri Lanka Transport Board said that special bus service has been implemented for the convenience of the Poson Festival. It will remain effective from today until the 24th. A train service from Anuradhapura to Mihintale has been initiated for the convenience of the devotees for the National Poson Festival. Under the instructions of Minister Bandula Gunawardena, the train service will be free of charge for passengers until the 23rd. Meanwhile, the Railway Department mentioned that 48 journeys will be carried out between Anuradhapura to Mihintale. The Petmaga walking path for the devotees visiting the Jayasri Mahabodhi sacred site in Anuradhapura was declared open today. It was held under the patronage of Atamastana Adipati Venerable Pallegama Hemaratana Thera. Anuradhapura Road Development Authority has built this path at a cost of 8 million rupees. Meanwhile, the Dhammarashmi Poson zone in Homagama will be inaugurated tomorrow. This zone will continue until the 23rd. The police have said that roads in the area of the Poson zone will be closed from 6 p.m. to 1 a.m. The 20th conference of the World Young Buddhist Sangha Sabha and the 5th annual conference of the World Buddhist Front is expected to be held centering the Nagadeepa Vihara in Jaffna. Many programs have been organized in Ampara marking the Poson Full Moon Poya Day. This has been titled as Naginihira Posonudane 2024. The Poson zone will consist of 4 pandals and more than 100 lanterns and Buddhist cultural events.
Sadharma Varsha program of the national television will be telecast live from Abhayagiri Rajamahavihara in Anuradhapura throughout the day tomorrow. Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation has made all necessary preparations for the live telecast of the Sadharma Varsha religious program on the Poson Full Moon Poya Day. The preparations were made under the guidance of Atamastana Adipati Venerable Pallegama Hemaratana Thera and Chief Incumbent of Abhayagiri Rajamahavihara Venerable Kalanhiya Ratnasiri Thera. The team of the national television has taken a lot of effort to bring the events of the religious program for the devotees across the country with the live telecast. Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation invites devotees to visit the Anuradhapura sacred site to be a part of the national television's Sadharma Varsha program at the Abhayagiri Rajamahavihara. Minister Bandula Gunawardena says that the new imputed rental income tax proposal is still in the discussion stage. The minister, while joining the cabinet briefing held at the Government Information Department today, said that if this proposed tax is to be enacted, it will be initiated without impacting 90% of the population in the country. Minister Bandula Gunawardena said that the International Monetary Fund has provided with the necessary measures to be followed to improve the income levels and stabilize the country. He said that the installments will be released based on the implementation of these measures. He said that the observers have decided that the country has not achieved the required income levels in order to release the third tranche. Accordingly, he said that necessary proposals are being considered to improve the income levels by 0.2% of the gross domestic product in the coming years. He said that one of the proposals considered is the imputed rental income tax proposal. However, he said that the proposal is still in the discussion stage. As pledged by the President in Parliament, the Minister said that even if this proposed tax has to be implemented, it will be made effective without impacting 90% of the population in the country. Remarks were also shared over the next appropriation bill as well. Minister Bandru Gunawardena said that the appropriation bill cannot be drafted for the upcoming year if the extended fund facility of the IMF has not been signed. He said that they have forecast a foreign exchange shortage of 5,018 million rupees, and out of which the IMF has agreed to extend 663 million rupees. He also said that 700 million rupees will be extended for the formulation of the budget paper. He said that the World Bank has agreed to extend 400 million, while Asian Development Bank has agreed to provide 300 million to Sri Lanka. He said that the rest of the 3,000 million have to be arranged through credit. He said that this cannot be changed as the extended fund facility has already been signed with the IMF. The minister made remarks over the preparations made at the Anuradhapura sacred site for the Posun festival tomorrow. Minister Bandru Gunawardena said that the main Posun festival will be held in Mihintale and Anuradhapura areas. He said that 400 buses have been deployed by Sri Lanka Transport Board and the relevant schedules have already been provided. He said that a new railway track was laid from Anuradhapura to Mihintale, which is about 2 kilometers, while the repair work pertaining to the northern line was underway. Accordingly, he said that commuters will be able to use the train free of charge from the 21st up until the 23rd. He said that the national television will conduct the Posun Poya Day program from Anuradhapura, while ITN will conduct its Poya Day program from Situlpawa, and SLBC will cover the entire country. More than 20,000 dansal will be organized for the Posun festival.
Moving on with more local news, the Women Empowerment Bill was passed in Parliament today with amendments. The debate on the second reading of the bill, which was presented to Parliament last month, was postponed to June 4th, and the debate was held today for the second day. The bill, which aims to empower women in the country, has provided provisions for the establishment of a National Commission for Women. The new act also provides provisions for the preparation and implementation of the national policy on the advancement and empowerment of women, the establishment of mechanisms for the protection for women's rights, and the prosecution of violations of women's rights. Women Parliamentarians Caucus and Sectoral Oversight Committee on Children, Women and Gender and the Ministry of Women and Child Affairs and Social Empowerment presented the relevant draft bill to the Parliament.
State Minister Sita Arampula says health authorities are taking measures to prevent the arrival of the deadly bacteria epidemic in Japan to Sri Lanka. Speaking at the Parliament, she said that necessary authorities, including the airports, has been informed in this regard. Parliamentarian Sarma said that this bacteria has rapidly spread across Japan and even death can occur after 48 hours of infection. He then inquired regarding the preparations of the authorities in this regard. State Minister Sita Arampula said that the World Health Organization has not recognized this bacteria infection as a global crisis. She said that since this is a bacteria infection, it can be controlled more conveniently than a virus infection. She said that necessary instructions have been directed by the Ministry of Health to relevant authorities, including the airport.
Several lawyers made remarks over the gender equality bill presented in Parliament recently. Attorney at law Yamita Nalinda Rajapaksa said that the President has not made any statement which would impact the Supreme Court judges. He said that the President's opinion was how to streamline the national policies in line with international conventions. Attorney at law Nuwan Soiza said that the executive, the legislature and the judiciary are the top three branches which remain in the same level. Therefore, he said that no entity can make statements to influence the public that the two other branches are below comparatively.
The Urumea National Operations Secretariat has organized a mobile initiative across the country to expedite the Urumea National Program. This program, which aims to provide 2 million freehold land deeds, will be initiated from the 26th to the 30th of this month. Senior Additional Secretary to the President Chandra Herath, while speaking at a media briefing, said that the government officials responsible for issuing freehold deeds will visit villages to gather information from residents and expedite the issuance of the freehold deeds. Senior Additional Secretary to the President Chandra Herath said that large numbers of land deeds have been distributed around the country under the Urumea Freehold Land Deeds Program. She said that this initiative is actively ongoing across the country with plans to accelerate its progress through a mobile service. She said that the mobile program is scheduled to be implemented island-wide from the 26th to the 30th of this month. She also said that licensors simply need to present their licenses or offer sheets. All necessary measurements and documentation will be handled by government officials. Secretary to the Ministry of Irrigation, Samandharshana Padikorala, said that it is now advised that license holders promptly meet with their divisional secretary to submit their licenses and apply for a freehold land deed without any conditions. The public are required to submit the document pertaining to your land and receive a receipt. Commissioner General of Land, Bandra Singh, has said that there are over 280,000 licensees within the Mahawali zones. He also said that the Urumea program aims to provide freehold land deeds to all licensees residing in 15 districts.
More local news. The United National Party members claim that the President Ranil Wickremesinghe, who led the nation which was already collapsed with utmost bravery, should be appointed for the next term. Now they mention that despite the political affiliations, all should gather on this endeavour. The main operational office of the United National Party in Talpitibadda, Panadura was declared open yesterday. The main operational office of the United National Party in Talpitibadda, Panadura was declared open yesterday. It was organized by the Talpitibadda Panadura UNP organizer Sunil Silva.
Because we are going to open the UNP office in Panandura, especially thanks to Sunilya given this opportunity to me. At the same time, we have to appreciate our Excellency President Ranil Wickremesinghe, because he only rebuilt up the country. Everybody knows the history. After he took over the duty, our Excellency President Ranil Wickremesinghe, now only we are getting better. The next chance also we have to give to him. That's what I am also supporting him. Especially Northern East Tamil people is going to vote for him. There are no any question. All the people are ready to support our Excellency President Ranil Wickremesinghe. That's what I am also supporting him, our party also.
The Philippine Ambassador to Sri Lanka, Leo Taito Ausan, says comprehensive support will be provided for Sri Lanka's future naval and aviation activities. The ambassador made these remarks during a meeting with Minister Nimal Siripala de Silva today. The meeting took place at the ministry premises. During the discussion, the ambassador noted that a significant number of Filipino tourists are planning to visit Sri Lanka. He also mentioned that steps will be taken to resume direct flights from Manila to Katnaika, which have been suspended for a long time. The ministry instructed the Director General of the Civil Aviation Authority to take necessary steps to obtain approval for resuming direct flights between the two destinations after the agreements are signed. The ambassador also stated that the Philippines, a leader in the global maritime sector, has agreed to establish a training school with modern technology to train Sri Lankan seafarers.
A total of 1,036 graduates who were recruited for the Sabragamuwa Provincial Council Teacher Service received their appointment letters. The event was held at the Sabragamuwa Provincial Council Auditorium. The recruitment for the Sabragamuwa Provincial Teacher Service was carried out following a gap of 5 years. The event was held with the presence of Governor of the province, Navin Dissanayake. The Governor, addressing the gathering, said that another 1,500 teachers are expected to be recruited for the province in the future. State Minister Janaka Vakkumbura was present at this occasion.
Chairman of Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation, Senior Professor Siddhanta Liyanage, was bestowed with the Yeoman Service Award of the Institute of Chemistry, Ceylon. He received the award for his services extended for the field of chemistry and for the Institute of Chemistry, Ceylon. The second international conference on frontiers in chemical technology, organized by Institute of Chemistry Ceylon, was commenced in Colombo yesterday. Chief guest of this two-day conference was Head of Global Inclusion at the Royal Society of Chemistry in Britain, Dr. L.A. Palermo. Professor Shiranti Dharaniagala was awarded with the Distinguished Service Award at the event. She received the award for HR services for the field of chemistry and the Institute of Chemistry, Ceylon. Senior Professor Sudantaliana gave for his outstanding contributions to the Institute of Chemistry, Ceylon, and as an expert in the field of chemistry in Sri Lanka, received the Yeoman Service Award. A large number of research papers are expected to be reviewed at this conference.
By introducing what the Royal Society of Chemistry and the relationship with these conferences and what we do to champion the role that chemistry plays to a sustainable future. The RSC is a member and professional body similarly to the ICChemC, and it is the oldest chemical society in the world. It was founded in 1841, and however, we are a very dynamic society. We have to keep reinventing ourselves to support chemistry and the chemist community. It is essential that we keep transforming ourselves so that we can continue to support the community in the longer term. We have around 700 employees, and we have a central office in London, in Ballington House, and the door that you're seeing there is the door to Ballington House. We also have an office in Cambridge, where the majority of our employees are based. But we also have offices in some parts of the world, Bangalore in India, we have in Tokyo, Japan, in Korea and Seoul, we have Shanghai and Beijing in China, and 2 offices in the US, in Philadelphia and in Washington. And we have an office in Berlin, Germany. So we have a footprint which is international, but these are where the offices are. We work across the world. And everything that we do is to support the chemical sciences community. Our purpose, as it says here, is to help the chemical sciences community make the world a better place. In everything that we do, we rely on the global community associated with chemistry. We work with students, we work with teachers, technicians, researchers, in academia, in industry, in policy, and so forth. And we have around 60,000 members across the world, and they generally give their time to work with us. So everything that we do is with our members, with our community. They underpin every service that we have, every initiative that we develop is always in collaboration with the community. And in return, we support their careers and their professional development and their continued participation in the community. And we are very grateful to each one of our members, to all and each one of our members, for their commitment and passion to make the world a better place. In the recent years, we have increased the number of students, and we will continue to do so, that they are engaged with our society. And of course, we encourage them to progress in their careers, and this is the path, very similar to the ICChemC professional recognition from a student to fellow. And this is a very important area where we must continue to showcase leadership, and one of the leaderships that we are changing radically is the way we produce publishing. We are committing to the transition to open access by 2026. That means that all our journals will be accessible to everyone. And this is key to building a more equitable scientific community where everyone can benefit from scientific discoveries.
And on more local news, now the Industry Expo 2024 exhibition was inaugurated yesterday at the BMICH with the participation of President Ranil Wickremesinghe. Today is the second day of the exhibition. The Industry Expo 2024 will continue until the 23rd of this month. The Expo is organized by the Ministry of Industries and the Industrial Development Board. The main objective is to create a platform to bring together industry-related local and international stakeholders. This Expo will represent 25 industry sectors and over 1,000 exhibitors covering a wider products and services portfolio during the 5 days of its exposition. The event is a complete package that involves international symposium, industry-related seminars, sharing experiences of industry leaders, as well as the displaying of products and innovations. We will be back with the foreign news right after this short break. Stay tuned.
Kottumi, Fantamai.
வீட்டு பில் கட்டும்போது கேஷ் வேணுமா? பீப்பிள்ஸ் டெபிட் இருக்கு. மாசம் வந்தா ஷாப்பிங் போக கேஷ் வேணுமா? பீப்பிள்ஸ் டெபிட் இருக்கு. ஆன்லைன்ல ஷாப்பிங் செய்ய கேஷ் வேணுமா? பீப்பிள்ஸ் டெபிட் இருக்கு. கேஷ் வேணுமா? பீப்பிள்ஸ் டெபிட் இருக்கு. கேஷ் வேணாமே. பீப்பிள்ஸ் டெபிட் இருக்கு. கேஷ் வேணாமே.
பீப்பிள்ஸ் பேங்க் டெபிட் கார்டு இருக்கும்போது இப்போ கையில கேஷ் வச்சுக்க தேவையில்லை. எல்லா பேமெண்ட்டுக்கும் ஸ்வைப் பண்ணுங்க, டேப் பண்ணுங்க.
Moving on with your foreign news, the leaders of Vietnam and Russia had said that they want to boost ties as the presidents of both countries met in the Vietnamese capital of Hanoi.
Furthermore, the Vietnamese President Tu Lam was full of praise for his Russian counterpart Vladimir Putin. In return, said that strengthening a strategic partnership with the Southeast Asian country was one of Russia's priorities. The Russian president's trip to Vietnam, which comes on the heels of his visit to North Korea, was being interpreted as a demonstration of the diplomatic support Russia still enjoys in the region. The United States had criticized the visit for giving a platform for President Vladimir Putin to promote his war of aggression in Ukraine. Vietnam still values the historic ties it upholds with Russia, even as it works to improve its relationship with Europe and the United States.
Macang, prima kottumi, Fantamai.
Taking a look at your sports news tonight, Sri Lankan athletes Tharushi Karnaratne and Kalinga Kumarage, who won medals at the Bilbao International Invitational Track and Field Athletics Meet, arrived in the country today.
Officials of the Sri Lanka Athletics Federation were present at the airport to welcome the medal winners. The meet was held in Bilbao, Spain. Tharushi Karnaratne, participating in women's 600-meter event, recorded a time of 1 minute and 24.84 seconds and won the silver medal. This is a new Asian record. Kalinga Kumarage, participating in the men's 400 event, secured a bronze medal by recording a time of 45.91 seconds. With this win, Kalinga Kumarage has been placed in the 53rd position in the world rankings. These athletes are expected to compete in the upcoming National Athletics Championship, which will be held at the Diagama Mahinda Rajapaksa Stadium from the 25th to the 27th. Subsequently, they will compete in the Olympic qualifiers scheduled to be held on the 30th at the Sukatadasa Stadium in Colombo. Secretary to the Sri Lanka Athletics, Saman Kumara, said that they believe based on the performance of the athletes, they would be able to qualify for the Olympics.
South Africa managed to win the first match of the Super 8 round of the T20 Cricket World Cup. South Africa kicked off the Super 8 round with an 18-run win over the USA. The match was played in North Sound, West Indies. Batting first, South Africa scored 194 runs for the loss of 4 wickets in their 20 overs. Quinton de Kock scored 74 runs while Aiden Markram scored 46. In reply, the USA only managed to gather 176 runs for the loss of 6 wickets in their 20 overs. Andrews Gower scored 80 not out in bowling. Kagiso Rabada claimed 3 wickets for 18 runs.
Macang, prima kottumi, Fantamai.
And that was a look at your news broadcast here at Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation. I'm Siobhan Pereira together with Kasumi Balathandra. Wish you a pleasant evening. Take care.
Good night.